Hey everybody, we're in Psalms chapter 126 today. I've got two questions for you. First of all, can the world see what God has done for you? And secondly, are you planting? Are you planting? Let's look at Psalms 126. It says, "When the Lord turned again the captivity of Zion, we were like them that dream. Then was our mouth filled with laughter and our tongue with singing. Then said they among the heathen, the Lord hath done great things for them. The Lord hath done great things for us, whereof we are glad. Turn again our captivity, O Lord, as the streams in the south." The psalmist here writes that the world saw what God was doing for them. And Jesus repeats this when he says that we are to be the light of the world. And he goes on to say that the world will see our good works and they'll glorify God in heaven. That's exactly what this chapter is talking about. Can the world see what God's doing for you? Are you sharing what Jesus has done for you with the world? That's the question this evening, I suppose, depending on what time you're watching this video. But can the world see what God's done for you? Are you sharing your faith with those that are around you, your coworkers, your family, your friends, your neighbors? And can they see what God has done for you? Are you sharing that testimony? But secondly, are you sowing? Are you planting? The Bible says in verse 5, "They that sow in tears shall reap in joy. He that goeth forth and weepeth, bearing precious seed, shall doubtless come again with rejoicing, bringing his sheaves with him." Now, we all love payday. That's probably our favorite day, when we get that paycheck. But you know what we don't love is all of the time and the hours and the energy and the deadlines and the projects that have to be completed and the early mornings and the late nights that we have to work and labor in order to get that paycheck. So he says, those that sow in tears shall reap in joy. In other words, if the sacrifice that you're putting into something, if you put that sacrifice, that effort, that work into something, that there will be something to reap. My brother and I have bought several homes in the county here, in Lorain County, and we've fixed them up and sold them or rented them out. And the most rewarding thing is when we sell it and it closes and that bank wire hits the bank account. That's always the most rewarding thing that happens. But there's a whole lot of sweat and blood, literally, and tears that goes into that work in order to get to the payday, in order to get to the reaping. So it is with a farmer. A farmer spends months and months and months working and sweating and waking up early, staying up late, doing hard labor in order to plant, so that way he can have the crop to come in one day, so he can reap one day. And so the Bible teaches us that our life is a lot of tears and planting and sowing, and then one day there's a promise that there will be a reward. There's a promise that one day we will reap what we have sown. In fact, Paul says this in the book of Galatians. He says that we will reap what we have sown if we faint not. A farmer does not get a crop if he does half of the work. He has to do all of the work and be faithful in that work in order to get the crop. So will we receive rewards one day if we're faithful throughout our life and we don't quit on God halfway through our life. And so in every aspect, whether it's your family life, your ministry life, whatever it may be, there is a reaping only when we've sown. And so he says this here, "He that goeth forth and weepeth, bearing precious seed, shall doubtless come again with rejoicing, bringing his sheaves with him." We sing that song in church, bringing in the sheaves. Those sheaves, that fruit, only comes from the labor. As a pastor of a smaller church in Ohio, in an area where we're in a smaller city, compared to really large cities, but we're in a smaller city, it can feel discouraging that we don't see fruit all of the time. But the Bible says if you're faithful to plant, if you're faithful to sow, if you're faithful in your prayers, then God will bring that reward one day. And guess what? It may be the day that you see him face to face. You may not see the fruit on this side of heaven. 1 Corinthians 15:58 is one of my favorite verses in the whole Bible. And it says, "Therefore, my beloved brethren, be steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord, for as much as you know that your labor is not in vain in the Lord." And so your labor is not in vain. As you're serving God, as you're planting, as you're ministering, your labor is not in vain. What a great reminder for us. Psalms chapter 126. And I hope that you got something from this. Hey, please like and comment below. If you haven't already, please subscribe. Share this with a friend. And we'll see you tomorrow with another psalm.